Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Community Call. We'll start with a quick update from the Jitsi community. I was mainly working on Jitsi, few memory issues, cleaning some memory issues there. There is another problem that was brought, and I'm currently updating the desktop libraries there. So still on Jitsi. Brian?
So we've been continuing work on the new bridge. We did not get it merged to master by the end of March as we had initially hoped, but progress is steady, and we're still moving. I think we'd probably be looking at somewhere between 1 to 2 months before getting it in, but we're still chugging along and making good progress on it. So that's the update.
Thank you. Boris, do you have anything to add?
Not much, just a note on the package, new package things. So we created new 2 packages. First, we have Jitsi utils, which is a basic package of Java utilities that we extracted from the different projects, mainly from the Jitsi. And the idea is that it's not going to have any other Jitsi dependencies, so it's a basic relief project. And Damien just extracted all of the SMAC extensions into their own package. So I think that's worth noting. Otherwise, nothing to add.
Thanks. George?
I don't have any major updates. Still working on comparing our performance compared to Zoom. Yeah, we will have results soon for that.
Thank you. Zoe?
We delivered the React Native update recently, re-added the info sheet dialog to mobile, and delivered the raise hand functionality to mobile too. These are the main points.
Thanks. Pavel?
So maybe the only interesting thing is that we'll be having the Apple Watch app added to the mobile app soon, maybe this week. That's all from me.
Thanks. Lenny?
Nothing big to note from my side. I've been fixing miscellaneous bugs.
Thank you. Christo?
So now the device selection functionalities are to the iframe API. This should be in master. I'm not sure if it's released yet, but if not, it should be there in the next release, I guess. I think that's all for me.
Thanks. Did I forget anybody? I think we're done with the quick update. Any questions? Open mic. Nobody?
I'll ask a quick question.
Yep.
So for ICE, sort of the ICE4J setup, is there a way to prioritize differently the server reflex over the peer reflex, or is that is the determination aside from, I know that there is like a sort of default priority, but if we don't see server reflex and we just see peer reflex as sort of as candidates, can we just assume that from a networking standpoint, server reflex was just not an option? Because I assume sort of the firewalls that we're sort of traversing may just opt for pure reflex over server reflex. Is that correct?
But I'm not sure I follow everything. Server reflexive are candidates that are gathered through a stun server. So if the client contacts a stun server and finds its public IP address this way, it's going to advertise this address as a server reflexive. If, for example, the bridge as an ICE agent receives a check from a client from an address that it has not been advertised, either as a host or a server reflexive, it's going to use this address anyway, but its type is going to be peer reflexive because that's just the address that this agent sees.
I see. Got it. Okay.
And the reason we see peer reflexive candidates in Meet is because for the bridge connection, we skip stun because the video bridge always has a public IP address, so we can just not do stun on the clients.
Sorry, say that one more time.
In the common Jitsi setup, we know that the server has a public IP address. Therefore, we can just not configure stun on the clients, and we know that it's gonna work with peer reflexive candidates.
I see. Got it. Okay. Thank you. So one more completely unrelated question. I couldn't find the documentation for the modules in Jitsi Meet, the Lua prosody modules. To enable one of those, like those are not active by default, right? But can we assume that if we just drop them into the configuration for prosody, they should just work? Like I'm looking to potentially use the room and room count. I forget the exact name. Prosody modules, and I'm assuming then if we did add that, we could just make those specifically would allow an HTTP call, I assume over like port 5280 by default to get that information. Does that?
So there is no documentation about that. So you just need to enable those in the prosody configuration. There is a module enable, but if you have more particular questions, you can drop a question on the community forum and I will answer you.
Okay, great. Excellent. Thank you.
No worries. Anybody else?
I'll have a quick one. George, did you forget about me? Or did you give up?
A little bit of both. I mean, I have run out of ideas, and then I was planning to.
And my only idea is to ask you, so that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart thinking about it and checking. I checked with your deployment. Everything was working normally, other than the fact that it was not ramping up to HD quality, and the client was uploading HD, so it's really weird.
Can I add like debug hooks or something to see where we lose the quality? I don't mind like hacking the code temporarily to put something in.
maybe what you can do is activate the time series debug logging. I will send you the login.properties command to include in order to activate that, and we can see what the bridge decides to send, even though that's not going to explain why it decides to send that. So yeah, I will send you that, and maybe we can have a look at that, and maybe that will give us some clue as to what's going on, what's wrong.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks. There is a question by Peter in the chat. I'm new to Jitsi. Can someone please give me 15 minutes to talk offline about how we can best use it and possibly customize it? You can ask here, or you can drop a question on the community forum, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So.
Hi, it's Peter. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. So first of all, where is the community forum? Is there a URL for that?
It's community.jitsi.org. I will paste it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. And so that's great. I may ask a few questions there. And just at a high level, the texting part here, is that peer-to-peer and encrypted, like peer-to-peer communication for text?
So all the communication here is apart from the media, of course. The communication to the XMPP server is over HTTPS, so it's encrypted. And it's not peer-to-peer, it's everybody is connecting to the XMPP server.
To the server, okay. All right, and do you know if and this could be used equally well for chatting with just between 2 people as well as like 200 people at a time, from what I could see on your website?
Yes.
Do you know if there would be a way of just saying, of forcing, let's say, just 2 people to be able to talk and nobody else? Let's say the server would initiate person A to talk to person B at a particular time, and then maybe a few minutes later it would initiate person A to talk to person C. So the user, I'm wondering if there's a way that we could shut off the ability for the individual users to connect to whoever they want to, but rather have a scheduled server say who's going to talk to who at what time.
There is no such functionality by default. Those, like, it sounds to me like calling, like to call somebody or something like that. So this is, there is abstraction for all of those functionalities, and this should be established in a separate channel. I mean, this it is intended to embed Jitsi Meet in some other app, to use JW tokens, and to communicate over another channel, propagating those, let's say, calling methods.
So is that a customization then, right?
Yes, it's per, everybody decides what their needs and what can they do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to impose on anybody else and what they're doing, you know, in general and so forth. But if we want to have some customization done, is there somebody that we could even, you know, pay to fast track, you know, help us do some things like that, you know, using the basic code as a jump start, but then with some customization?
There are a few people / companies that are doing that. There is a such section in the forum, paid work, so you can ask there and people will contact you.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll look at that. Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, you can always reach us in the forum.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thank you, and See you in 2 weeks.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.